Alrighty, it is, dang, I'm 1 minute late. It is 6 minutes past the hour, so why don't we get started, shall we? Hopefully I have a grasp over my hotkeys for my scenes because I always hit the wrong button. Regardless, we shall start. So, where is my, there it is, there am I, here am I. Oh my gosh, all of the text, every time! Thank you for the follows, all of you. I want to put that out. Thank you so much for the follows. You didn't have to. I love you all. I really appreciate it. You know, but first and foremost, thank you. Do you mind, all of you? I love you, but like, wait, it didn't get pelted. I didn't get pelted. All right, hold on. Let me just do this. So I have for those who are joining us for the first time, I have a reactionary thing where every time I get a follow, it's supposed to throw these at me, but I guess it doesn't want to. All right. So let me just, please, can I speak? Are we good? Are we good? Okay. What is wrong with you people? My gosh, my ears! Are we done? Okay, I hope we're done. All right. Whew. So. Thank you, Chiro. Thank you, J-Droid. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out to this wonderful episode of the VOD, and thank you so much for coming to yesterday's episode of the VOD, where we got to talk about a lot of cool and fun and glorious things. You know, I will hydrate, you know, and I actually filled up my big bottle of water this time. No, it's dripping! Ah, shoot. Sorry, just water was dripping and I had to catch that. Aside from technical difficulties, my water bottle just doesn't like to work. So, goodness. The drippy bottle, yes. So, let's talk about our last stream yesterday. With our wonderful, wonderful guest, Lord Rexworth. Now, Lord Rexworth offered us some wonderful insights into one, his experience in radio, but two, also his views on that of being a VTuber. You need to go shower. Okay, go shower. Showers are wonderful. Like, especially after getting pelted by Dr. Pepper, I assure you, shower's good. But with Lord Rexworth, what was really interesting was we probably spent a majority of the show talking about the qualities and also the philosophical things associated with not only being a VTuber, but also being just a good and genuine person in today's modern settings and societies. I mean, we often forget and neglect the fact that we represent not only the people who we are friends with and the people who we work with, but most importantly, we represent ourselves. So, oh, my shirt. We represent ourselves. And so if we're not learning to represent ourselves well, then how can we represent others if we have a job or if we have friends or we're, you know, somewhere where we need to show where we need to be? And so for that, I think that was a very memorable episode of the VOD. And I'm truly, truly happy and appreciative that I can have such wonderful guests on the show. Well, not only that, but also friggin' this man's voice was like butter. Like he was putting half of the audience and even myself and fans, I mean, was putting us to sleep with his beautiful voice. I mean, the man was just... Mr. Rex's show was a more mature conversation than most that was on the VOD. My goodness. Yeah, something like that. Well, it's funny. I'm actually going to bring up something that my wonderful co-host was talking about earlier, which I'll say when we talk about today's show. Tomorrow, or the next stream, the next stream will actually be on Tuesday. Now, this upcoming weekend, I'm going to be spending it with my father, whom I thank you so much for the follow, Genevieve. Also, Genevieve, my redeems are, or my audio, my thing isn't working where every time I get a follow, I get this. Put Nina on the VOD so I can roast her. If Nina's comfortable, Nina wants to be on the VOD, I'll have her on the VOD. I'll have anybody on the VOD. I'll have you, I'll have your dad, I'll have everyone on the VOD, because I'm a truth seeker. Please do in general. So yeah, I'm going to be spending this. Were you in any VTuber game shows? You look familiar. Unfortunately, I was not. I was trying to go on Philion's show, but I didn't make the cut, and that's okay. A fan of Dr. Pepper. You were very cultured. Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much. I am glad you. I hope you're also a fan of Dr. Pepper. Here, you know what? Here is also some cans of Dr. Pepper. There's that. Enjoy that. Savor it. It's beautiful. Dr. Pepper has 23 wonderful flavors, and it was first introduced in 1886, I want to say. And the thing is that it's considered one of the first sodas ever created before the invention of the modern refrigerator. So keep that in mind. Yeah, there you go. That was all a blur, and that was when I started to get really sick. So for some of those who I have met while in those voice chats, I apologize if I don't remember. I was in a daze that day, and I ended up taking an entire week off from streaming right after that. So yeah, continuing on about this next stream, since I will be spending the weekend with my father and Christmas with my dad, I won't be streaming that weekend. And so the only two streams I really have planned are the 19th and the 21st. I want to have somebody on the show on the 21st, but I don't have anybody on the show scheduled for the 21st. So if you want to be on the show, join the Discord and reach out to me and we'll get you scheduled. Or if you just want to be on the show in general, we will have you on the show in the future. I have a schedule set up. We are almost booked for the month of January, and we're going to start opening that up to February once January starts. So if you want to be on the show and you're a VTuber, I'd love to have you. I have a Discord, the Discord link. Phantom, would you be so kind as to drop that Discord? Not only that, I also have a Twitter. It's _Valentine0. You can see me and my trash takes on anime and posts and all that, but that's not important. Back to the future streams. On Tuesday, we'll be having an episode of the VOD, and on Thursday, again, I hope to have you vote JG on the 21st as well. Oh, I see. Mr. X Tyler was pretty. I have to look at all of these. When Coke had Coke in it, oh my goodness, there's so many things having to go through because I want to make sure I read all of chat. I don't care how much it'll take. I want all of chat. But yeah, I'll have JG Joestar on the show for the 19th, and like I said, I don't have anybody on the 21st, so that will either be a gaming stream if I can't find anybody on the show, but I will have anybody who wants to come on the 21st. And who knows, there may be streams throughout the week. I may end up streaming the entire week. Who knows? I'll figure that out after the show. So enough on that, because I don't want to keep continuing talking when we have a wonderful guest that we need to get to today. So today's stream is super cool and super fun. I'm super super-excited as well. Now, as my co-host was telling me, what's funny about this stream is that it's going to be probably a complete 180 from the whole philosophical vibes of yesterday's stream, or maybe it's equally philosophical. I don't know, but it's interesting to see the types of people I have on the show because they come from all different sources and backgrounds, and that's why I love this show. That's why I started it. There are so many people who have a voice that want and I think need to be heard. That's why I always ask the same question at the beginning of every show: is who are you and what is your story? It's so important to me. And not only that, I hope to give people the ability to share their story with the world. I mean, some people really want to be on something like this, where the VOD is becoming so popular. Congrats. Oh, thanks, Rinthio. Crumbo stream. The Crumbo stream will begin. Do they look yummy? Yes, they do look yummy. So, but yeah, every time I have a guest on the show, regardless of size, regardless of whether they're a 3D, 2D, or PNG tuber, regardless of where they're from, it's always a really humbling experience to see people who are so interested not only in this show, but the people who come over from wherever they are to see and support their favorite streamers. Because I'm not gonna lie, if everybody came to just support, like, they just support our guests, that's the main reason why I love having people, is because you get to see not only my community, but you get to see the communities of all the previous guests who've been on the show culminate into what we have. So for those that are here seeing the stream for Synical that's going to be on, I have people who are supporting me and coming in from RU Prime, from Miriday, from Rinthio. You know, I have, you know, Joey D King. I have the communities and people from all over coming to support as one giant collective. And to me, that is the ultimate goal of what this show is. So I have rambled long enough. I'm surprised nobody threw a Dr. Pepper at me to stop me. I don't drink, but there are other forms of torture. Yeah, I don't drink either. Instead, you do drink shots of milk. Milk and Sprite. Have fun with that. That'll give you a fun night. So, thank you, JG. I wish Bombastic was here. Bombastic was the one who normally had the perfect timing with that. So anyhow, enough about me, because I talk a lot. Oh, Bombastic is busy. Ah, okay. Barbecue Sprite. Now you listen here, Damon. You listen here. We do not. That's my cue. That's my cue. We'll talk, Damon. Because barbecue Sprite is something that should not exist. Those are words that should not even be together in the English language. None of those words are in the Bible. I got my eye on you. Anywho, today we will be welcoming a professional VMommy. I'm not going to say that word because I don't really swear. Crap poster Supreme that has landed in the studio, and we have no idea how to get rid of her. Maybe, just maybe, if we talk to her, she'll leave us alone. Please welcome an Asian dragon turned jackalope. She's a real jack of all trades, and no, that is no coincidence with her design. She dances, she sings, she draws, she games. Crap post crap, you name it, she can do it. So without further ado, please welcome our wonderful guest, Synical. I hit the right command this time. Heck yeah.
Yippee!
I'm first.
My goodness, that was a very that was a very good, like, well-written intro.
Barbecue Pilk, let the thoughts saturate
Thank you.
your
I had
mind.
a lot of fun. I saw all the other intros and I was like, I'm gonna do something a little different.
My
I noticed that
goodness.
you also said today. Did she put today or
No,
yesterday?
she didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, and that's why when we're talking earlier, is like, oh well, that's what they're all doing. No, I'm gonna be different.
Yeah. I was like, okay, what's the formula here? How am I supposed to write this intro? Oh, they all start with today, got it. And then you're like, well, everyone just kind of started doing that. I'm like, oh, really? I'm not conforming.
You're a renegade. Follow the beat of your own drum.
Yeah.
My goodness. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It truly means a lot. Not only that, there's been a lot of things going on you've been a busy individual. Like, you're doing a lot of work.
Yeah. I've been very busy. At least this past month or two, I've been very busy.
Well, we'll have plenty of time to talk about all that stuff. But before we get on, because I like to ramble, I'm going to ask my very first question, which in my opinion is the most important question of the entire show. And that is, oh, yes, sorry. For those who are new, my wonderful co-host, the Phantom Fame, could not be here in the studio physically. So instead, he is possessing our little Gojo figure here that is sitting on the desk. So if you aren't already, please support and follow my wonderful, wonderful co-host. He has his own Twitch channel. Not to mention, he is also, I want to say 9 follows away from hitting 200. So go support our wonderful ghostly boy here. He is much buffer on stream there. So if you want to see shirtless streams from a buff Phantom boy,
No, don't advertise me as shirtless. That's
No,
terrible.
advertise him that. Get shirtless.
sorry, you don't get a say. You don't get a say in that. So where was I? Oh, the very first question, most important question, dare I say, is Cynical, who are you and what is your story?
Hi, I'm Cynical. I am an Asian dragon turned jackalope. I'm a variety VTuber on Twitch. I'm slowly making my way to YouTube. How do I say this? My story is rather long and arduous, so I'll cut the little flowery bits just so that we can get to the show. I did not grow up with the best household, but the one thing that got me through every single day was like watching a video from PewDiePie or from Markiplier and laughing, and that just got me through the day. And I immediately knew from that day forward I wanted to be some kind of content creator, to be that kind of person for somebody else. And now I'm here.
Well, that is, you know what's funny is that's what a lot of people seem to have, like that is the primary inspiration that I've seen a lot of people have for either content creation or VTubing, is they saw one of their favorite creators and thought, that's what I want to do. Like, that seems fun. And they set about doing it because coincidentally, one of the reasons there are two reasons I got into VTubing. The first one is I made a joke with my best friend and I said, I'm gonna be a VTuber, but that was only after I saw a video of Girl DM and her model and all her stuff. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. This is kind of funny. That's what I think. I wouldn't mind doing that. And so originally I made a joke and I said, hey, I'm going to become a VTuber. And he says, cool. And we didn't talk about it for like a year. And then I went back and I'm like, okay, so what if I actually did this? And so I started planning my model. And that took a little bit of time. And I went back to him and I said, hey, I'm gonna become a VTuber. He's like, oh yeah? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay. And then some time passed. I did several revisions on my model and here we are. So it's
I'll be honest, I would have been like an IRL creator had I not valued my own privacy. What you're seeing here on the show is what I am, like, most of the time. I don't do what most other VTubers do, like play a character with like lore and everything. I do have lore. Don't get me wrong. I love lore, but I don't lean into that aspect. I'm just me, but I'm being represented by this jackalope with gigantic tits.
You know what's funny?
You're much more like me then.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, it's more of just like a mask. Because mine, it's not even that I'm hiding my face. I've done IRL stuff.
Okay.
And I've even like shown my face since I started VTubing. Mine is just much more so that if my wife walks in behind me and decided not to wear anything, it's not an issue. She doesn't have to worry about, like, is he streaming right now? Do I have to, like, can I go walk over and see him? It's like, yes, you can. You can walk right over. There's literally zero risk. You can still be in your house as comfortable as you want. You don't have to get dressed up. You don't have to put on makeup.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about it. You can just
I hate makeup.
be yourself. Yeah. It's also having a strong guy himbo avatar that never looks like he just rolled out of bed is just more preferable to trying to make myself look presentable every day.
I don't know. I like using foundation and eyeliner, and back in my theater days, I used to make all my castmates jealous because of how well I could. Not only how well I could apply eyeliner, but how naturally curled my eyelashes are.
I should have figured that you were a theater kid. I had a sense, but I didn't want to say anything.
Oh, you think everyone doesn't fucking know that? I mean, it's written all over him.
What is that supposed to mean?
I gotta feel. Hey! I'm a theater kid too. I get it.
You're a theater kid. Name every theater.
Every single one.
Every single one.
I'm the kind of person that like knows like almost every single song in like Hamilton to the T.
Let's go!
Or like Book of Mormon and.
Heck yeah! I love that one too.
I've never watched it. I've never actually watched it. I've never had the opportunity to watch it. I just know all the songs. Like, that's literally it.
So let me tell you something. I also know like all of the words to Hamilton and also know like all of the words to the Book of Mormon the musical.
Oh hell yeah!
Do you have a favorite song from both?
Let's go.
You have a favorite song from both?
Favorite song for both?
Yeah.
I think it will have to be "Turn It Off" for Book of Mormon.
Ah, classic.
That was so funny. It appeals to my sad, dark humor, and it like happy song, happy melody, sad lyrics. I love that. I honestly, for Hamilton, for me, although not featured in the musical itself, it would be
Oh.
First Burn.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that one. That must have been on the extras album.
First Burn is it's
The
it's
mixtape?
just like the first version of Burn. In my opinion, it sounds much better, but I understand his choice to not use that song because that song has a lot of vitriol and it makes Eliza a much like stronger character, but I understand his choices because, you know, Eliza's a gentle, soft baby.
Oh yeah. Recently, I've been very I want to say before my favorite song had to have been Dear Theodosia.
Oh yeah.
But then as I started to really think about how the song, like the vocals and just the instrumentation, Satisfied I think has to be my favorite song.
Okay, yeah, Satisfied.
There's just something.
Yeah, I get it.
There's just something about the choreography. There's something about the lighting. There's something about the music. But most importantly, I just feel like I forget. Was it Philippa Sue? Who was the? Is this her?
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah. Philippa.
I wonder if that was her or who sang lead in that song. But just she kills it. And not to mention, like when you watch that, and then there was another song that also plays, so it's Satisfied, and then there is another song that kind of plays the other perspective of it. I can't remember what it is, but it's a testament to showing how well of a writer Lin-Manuel Miranda is.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's really good.
but for Book of Mormon the musical, I'd have to. That would either no, it has to be I maybe All American Prophet or I Believe. And
Okay, yeah.
I may have to go with I Believe only because when I was in high school, I was in a period when I was hitting puberty a little more. And so I had lost my ability to really belt and sing high naturally. And so at that time, I dedicated myself the semester to becoming more classically trained to sing high and to regain that register that I had. And that was the song I sang that helped lead me to sing in a national competition. But the first time I tried doing that, singing it, my voice just like my voice just crack, and I just couldn't hit the notes. And so I spent time on my own just belting outside in my backyard, just singing it, and then practicing with a piano until finally I was actually able to hit the notes, and then I just kept refining it until I was actually able to compete with it. And since then, it's been one of my favorite musical songs just in general.
Hell yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I get that. I see that.
The question is, do you have any other favorite musicals?
Other favorite musicals, I think I'm going to be a baby and say Sound of Music. I really enjoyed that. I think that was one of the only musicals that I actually saw in person, but I was literally 5 years old. Guys, don't bring a kid that does not have like the memory of somebody that actually has memory to a musical, because they're not going to remember it. I'm actually so mad at my mom because she brought me there when I was 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, why didn't you bring me when I was older? I would have appreciated, like, I don't know.
Well, just coming from the time period that a lot of those musicals were released. Because isn't Sound of Music Rodgers and Hammerstein?
I think so. I think so. Reaching to the back of my brain, maybe. It's been a while.
Well, we can Sound of Music.
Googling is a very important resource, guys.
Yes,
Make sure you Google. Stay informed.
Stay informed.
Wait, we can't give that away for free. We have to make them sponsor us. You can't use the brand name. We have to do an internet search. And if you would like us to use your search engine, please reach out to this giant fembat behind me.
Yeah? Giant?
Just reach out and grab him. Do I look giant to you? I'm tiny.
That's fair. Yeah, Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting that you bring that up, like just one from that period up, because I think that was like a golden period for musicals. Just because like they weren't so they weren't as heavily serious. They had more or less very simple concepts, but with complex themes. But, you know, talking about suicide or, you know, addiction or anything like that, or current events, you know, that wasn't really a big thing until like the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying those are bad by any means. Trust me, Rent is one of my favorite musicals.
Rent is a good one too.
But like, there's just something enjoyable about listening to, like, on a nice drive home after work, and you just listen to the song On the Street Where You Live from My Fair Lady. It just hits all of the buttons.
Yep.
So, have you ever thought about, do you do karaoke streams, or, you know, do you do any singing?
I have done karaoke streams. I will be making more covers as time goes on, because I am a vocalist. I was a vocalist for 2 years while I was in college, and I used to perform at bars. I was in a jazz combo, and
I heard jazz.
yeah. I'm definitely an alto. I actually used to be a soprano. However, one Christmas Eve, I was sick, and I was the only person who could do that high-pitched solo, and I was basically forced to do it.
Oh no.
And then all of a sudden I got sick for 2 weeks, I lost my voice, and then my voice dropped like half an octave. No longer soprano. Now I'm just a sexy alto.
Just a sexy alto. When I die, I want that to be on my tombstone, is just sexy alto Sebastian Valentine.
If I fail to become an immortal and do pass from this mortal coil.
Yeah, I did get alto-fied. I don't view it as a bad thing. I mean, of course I was upset. I was a little kid and I wanted the solos. Pro tip, altos have such better lines. They have much more interesting stuff than the melodies. You don't want to sing the plain old melodies, do you? You want to sing the sexy harmonies, okay?
Yes, nothing like seeing the lead sing a wonderful seeing a wonderful D, and all of a sudden you have to complement that with a nice F sharp.
Oh, wonderful. Classic alto section, you get it.
Like I said, choirs and musical theater, I'm all too. Thank you for the follow for my stream. I need to pardon me for a moment, I must throw some things.
Oh, I see for my stream saying at least you aren't a tenor. I'm
taking my headset off.
Tenor for a period of time for my choir. I
Sorry,
think it's because there weren't enough tenors in the choir, and so therefore I had to step in and sing one of the tenor parts. It was really funny.
Nice. Phantom, not you two.
Oh yeah, but nobody can hear that unless they're a sub. It's exclusive sub-only content because right now there are ads.
There we go.
For my stream, I guess you could say from the song Hamilton, What Did I Miss?
What did I miss?
What did I miss? Head first into a political abyss. Oh, it's such a good song.
Many good songs there.
Oh yeah. Mate, so that song I was tooling around with the idea of with Phantom is...
look, that's my husband in chat.
What?
Call me shameless.
Aww.
Hi, babe.
Aww.
He's at work right now. I don't know why you're here.
Aw, well, welcome,
Yep, okay.
Welcome, Mr. Cynical. There was actually a comment that For My Stream pointed out. It says, I got the chance to see Come From Away on Broadway, and it's a surprise hit, recommended. I saw that, and I've talked about this before I came up to college. I'm from Las Vegas, and like Mr. Cynical, now I'm sorry, Shameless, Mr. Shameless, please, no, see, your husband is welcome, please, no, here.
Do you want us to punish him for you? We can do that.
No.
Tathan, you want to do the honors?
No.
Is he gonna get covered in Dr. Pepper? Oh, there we go. Yeah. It's all coming in. It's all coming in.
I'm not ready.
Much better.
I know. How do you know that I'm a bottom? Who told you this?
Tactical nuke incoming.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This is the best part of the day.
Joke's on you.
Look at it go.
Joke's on you.
Beautiful.
Joke's on you. You announced it.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Oh, but come from away, fantastic. Oh yeah, so Discord. Finally, somebody in chat knows Discord audio just doesn't like to work. It's just me, or is Discord's
Oh,
bitrate
it's not
limited?
working?
So the audio in Discord sometimes, because I record it through there. You're also an audio engineer? Hey, somebody knows their bitrate. For those that don't know, bitrate is the ability. Bitrate is what is how much a computer can quantize an analog waveform and to replicate it accurately. Meaning, if you have a bit rate of say 8, it essentially looks like a weird blocky line. Whereas if you have a bit rate of 24 or 48, which 48 is unheard of, that is not a thing. Pardon me. 32, you have the biggest like ability to clearly replicate that analog waveform. The problem is it just takes up so much space. Sorry, I just yeah, that is one. Let me snooze the ads. It just doesn't want to snooze. So yeah, audio. 4 mile stream. We need to talk. We need to talk.
Audio is so important in the VTubing scene. I feel like a lot of people kind of take audio for granted.
I agree. And I've told this on stream, is like there's so many things you can do to make it sound better, but there's also very little. This is a much more simple explanation of Val gave. I now understand. Well, it is a very good way of explaining it. The other thing is that the rise of ASR restoration has made audio more important than ever. Oh, very much so. For instance, one of the guests we're hoping to have on the show near the end of the month, she does ASMR streams, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, it's just when you stream in say 24-bit with a 24-bit rate by a 48K sample rate. Actually, it's bit depth. Excuse me, bit depth and a sample rate. The hard part is trying to find that balance, and I could talk about this all day, but I won't because we want to talk about you, Cynical. It's just, you put it wonderfully, as audio is just becoming more and more important to really get into and focus on, but you don't necessarily need to have the best audio equipment. You just need to have a good personality to boot it. Meaning, because like
I think the same thing goes for models, where it just it's like you can have like an unbelievable, like, I mean, Cynical, your model is fucking
Thank you.
between the way it's rigged, the design, the color, like everything about it is absolutely phenomenal. There's always more to look at. That wouldn't mean shit if you didn't have a good personality. And
Exactly.
I think I would be astounded if you did not put a lot of because did you make your model yourself?
No, I didn't make my model. I am a character designer. I designed every single aspect of my model to the T. I have to give props to my artist for following every single direction.
But I'm sure that you did go in and you adjusted the rigging and made sure everything worked with you specifically.
Yes, a lot of people forget to check the parameters of their personal VTuber model. Once you get it, go into the VTube studio settings, check the parameters, adjust things however you want. It's very important. I'm a little bit lax right now because we're just talking. However, if I were to be streaming, my mouth would be moving like this, and I'm over-exaggerating everything, just like how I did when I was in theater. It's no different. It's literally just acting and making sure that you have all the params prepared. A lot of people kind of forget to do that. It's very important.
it's very true.
I just spent 3 hours last night doing more like adjustments to my model, because I'm not gonna pretend that my model is anything near the level yours is. But like even with something simple like just a $200 model, there's so much that you can do with it. There's so much you can adjust to make it look better, to make it feel more real. For me, I have more narrow eyes. Like I got that caveman ass brow and I got narrow ass eyes. So I have to adjust it so that it doesn't think I'm constantly fucking squinting at people and giving people the stink eye. And it's also like my mouth. I don't always close that shit all the way. I do the classic like 7-year-old in front of a television where like the mouth is just like slightly ajar. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're
I
like,
can see it in my mind's eye. Yeah.
is your kid a zombie from playing too many video games? That's my ass. That's me sitting in front of the TV staring at it. And so what I've done is I've adjusted it so the mental image, yeah. So I have literally made it where my mouth is closed even if it's slightly open, so that if I accidentally leave it like, slightly ajar, or it just thinks that like any other normal tracking would think that my mouth is slightly open, it's closed. And then I also have it where it opens all the way up before I've completely opened my mouth, because I want to, like you said, like I want to be able to act and exaggerate and make my model do things that are more interesting. However, I also want to make my model work for me and make sure that if I am forgetting, like if I'm going on a 12-hour stream, I'm hitting hour 13 and I'm like, all right, like I am well past the time I was expecting to go. I'm still having a great time. I want to keep streaming. I want to make sure that it is also pulling its weight on the back end and giving the audience more to look at. And I feel like that's such a big benefit to VTubing that you miss when you're when you're IRL streaming. People can see when you're tired IRL. It is much harder to determine if someone is fucking zonked in VTubing unless you watch their model just go absolutely limp.
Man, I think I'm funny.
Yeah, you definitely are, because you said so.
My jeez, wow, I just got roasted hard. All right.
God damn.
I'm sorry, I have to be really quick with it, because I grew up in an environment that's probably my bad, because I grew up in an environment where there was a lot of competition, and if you're not on it, you got to step on it, otherwise you're gonna get stuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I get that.
I grew up with a really quick mind.
Trust me,
Good. I mean, that's. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I've done improv for years, and it's one of those things where at a certain point it just becomes reflex and instinct, where if you hear something like that, you see an opportunity, you just take it, and you don't think about whether it'll be good or bad, you just take it.
That's my brain with these nuts jokes.
These what?
Oh god.
These
My gosh, I just saw the like your model's eyes just become the biggest thing.
Oh
I will.
God.
That would be me expressing myself as well as V Bridger. V Bridger's really good at that. They're really good at translating that.
My goodness.
Oh my god. Yeah, I cannot believe how good your audio is, because you have a similar issue that I have, where you'll go from talking at a normal range like this to just fucking screaming. You scream louder than I do.
You can thank my husband for that. He slaved over equalizing this mic.
Wait, what?
Making sure it was perfect for my range.
Didn't you say that was an AT2020?
AT2020 USB, yeah.
USB? They have a USB version? Hold on.
Yeah.
What? I've never known this. They do.
Google it up.
What the heck? I've never seen. Oh, it's it's XLR to USB. All right, that makes sense.
If you want to not be cut off on your mic,
the two audio engineers that we have in
No,
chat.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny if my voice gets cut off when I say "D's nuts." It's for the comedy. I think it's great.
As my old German roommate used to say, "Oh, cynical, you are a comedy."
I am one comedy.
What? Just one comedy, not two.
Just one. Not too much. Not too little. Just one.
Not too much, not too little. Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, I guess it's, I guess you're using XLR to USB. It looks like. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, no, mine, because I use an AT2035, and like I have that connected to my own audio interface. But let me tell you something. I've talked about it. I always talk about it. USB mics are such an underrated powerhouse. Like, they are really good at what they do. And that's where I'll leave it, because I don't want to go on a tangent.
Oh, not another one? You sure?
I'm sorry. We're talking about audio. You think I'm sorry, guys. I know this is I know this is Synical's show, but like, you know, audio. Anywho, back to our
I
wonderful.
love when Automod tries to catch things that it should just like, nope, you can go through. Get out there, kid.
So
Slap it on the ass.
So considering how developed, no, how designed your model is, because I think if I were to talk about that, you would have to be our guest that probably has the most articulated model with all the moving parts and all the joints. So why don't we talk about that a little bit, because I've always been curious by how much work and how much detail goes into creating a model with such complexity such as yours, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of moving parts. While I'm not the artist nor the rigger, I did have to do a lot of research. I feel like the most important thing that if you want a VTuber model like mine that moves exceptionally fluidly, that follows your facial and body movements almost to a T, that can properly express yourself, it is important that you have a depth.
What?
It is very important that you are able to have riggers and artists that can communicate with each other very openly.
We're not gonna rush past that. We're not gonna rush past that.
It was a request. I had to. If I could like Fortnite dance with my 2D model, I'd do that. I can't. I'm limited by 2D. I can at least dab.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. So I forgot to bring this up during the pre-show. I have an RR redeem for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since it's been used on the show, my guests have taken it upon themselves to say, "Can I join in on that?" So you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm going to do it. Phantom might do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So that's completely up to you, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. So.
Okay.
This one's for you, J-Droid. I can speak.
Wait, hold on. J-Droid, do you want the high or the low? You want the high or the low from Val?
I can't do both. I can't do my low right now.
The high or the low. It's like you're handing a menu.
Both.
Why must you be like this? Bofa? Both for what?
Either. Do both.
I'm pursing my lips. You can't tell.
Monotone ara. Phantom shoes. Oh, that's new. Well, I mean, look, the high one's getting really good. I think the high one's the bet. Like, look, we've got Cynical here. We need to impress Cynical. Let's give the high ara for her. Right, Val?
Oh, I'm listening.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna mute my mic real quick because I want to drink some water and I want to be heard.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. No pressure.
Yeah, there's no pressure whatsoever.
I'm in the presence of a professional VMommy. Okay, I gotta make a good impression. Her words, not mine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Slurp the water, don't you test me, boy. I just drank. What more do you want from me?
I think they're trying to drown you.
They've tried in the past, but I always come up swimming. All right. You ready? They want me to drink. My gosh!
The best is that it's not some random people, it's your mods. That is
my
the
mods.
best part.
All right. I got y'all ready?
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Was the
Approved.
Really good at that one.
I thank you for your approval. Phantom, do you want to join in on this?
Yep. Wait 1 second.
Oh. Yeah?
Yep.
That was a good one. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Any tips? Any criticisms?
From me?
Yeah, from you.
Me, I'm only like, I'm ever like a beginner VA. I don't think I have any criticism other than, wow, that sound good. Like the waves went into my ear. That sound good. I don't have any professional criticism. They sound great though. I like them both.
But do you have RR experience?
A special occasion, I'll do it.
Oh.
I don't do it on my streams, if only because a lot of people came in and went like, do the ara, and they were and they were being weird about it. And I
No,
was like,
that's
guys,
fair.
I'm married.
That's fair.
I'll do here.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everybody knows I'm married. If you start hitting on me, you're weird. Anyway, I'm still hot. You're still weird. Anyway, I'm gonna drink with some water.
See?
Okay.
Just gonna give that a little bit of space. Just gonna give that a little bit of space for everybody who is going to make that as weird as possible.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
I'm still
Oh,
hot.
thank you.
I'm
still hot and you're still weird.
God damn.
I want that to
dude.
be on the motto of this show.
Just make surprise merch. No one's gonna know the context. It's so funny.
Oh, there we go. Here's
Yeah,
hoping.
they will,
What was that?
they will absolutely abuse that as a redeem. Just so you know, that I made the mistake of making a redeem that is make a new redeem, and let me tell you, that spawned some cursed shit. I now have an RR redeem, an UWU redeem, and we call it furry mode.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That was
Furry
for,
mode.
that was for free.
it was.
Yeah, that was
free.
a free uwu. It burst out of my body because I'm a furry.
I don't think
So
I've ever done an uwu before.
Oh no, here it comes.
I didn't
oh,
say
there we go. All right.
I didn't say I was
Nope,
go-
we're ready for it now. I'm already ready.
Make
My
I don't know
body's
how to
ready.
do
guys.
it,
You know what to
uwu.
do. You know
You
what
have
to do.
to try
chat.
it.
Make
You have to
canon.
try it. Everyone's
Mm.
heard me try to do it.
And I just gave it for free, so.
with blurps. Wait, redeems with blurps?
Oh, there we go.
UWU.
Thank you, Chiro, for that. Only I can make it a redeem. Nobody else has that power.
You don't know about that.
No, I know about that. I'm the only one who can manage this stuff.
Guys, gaslight into making that redeem real. It's
We're
real.
gonna make that. I did that for Tokyo, where I just kept giving him 69 bits and typing woof, and now whenever he gets bits, he woofs for me, and it's fucking
Aw.
amazing. It's my favorite.
We want to completely separate ourselves from the sexually charged nonsense
Yeah.
attributed to you. Yeah, no, that's a very valid point. I mean,
Yeah.
people in this sphere are weird.
Yeah, they can get really fucking weird. Yeah, they really can. And try and push boundaries. They love doing that.
Well, I think there's a you can find a balance between it, and I think that's something where, like, there are people where they've made it weird and they've made it real weird, and I think
The
there are
point
other people
is-
where they kind of have that line where it's like, yeah, it's like it's kind of like a goof. Like, I don't think that there's a single person on my channel that actually is actually like hardcore, like, oh fuck yeah, he did a like really shitty uwu. This is what I came here for. Like, you know, it's the same thing with like saying like let's go and pog, where it's like no one said those seriously at first. They were complete memes, and now it's just like
And now it's
inundated.
just vocabulary. Yep.
yeah, it's
Now
just vocabulary. Mm-hmm.
So am I still doing that uwu?
Yeah, no, we're waiting.
So how do I do
Yeah.
that? How do I do that?
What do you mean?
Just say
What-
ooh woo,
Ooh,
and then
woo.
say it in the most bottom way you can.
In the
Mhm.
I feel like that's a good way for me to describe it,
in
right?
the most bottom way I can. Oh whoa, is that what is Liz stream was saying? All right, give me a moment. You two talk for a moment. I gotta practice like 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, we can talk.
No. So furry mode is unfortunately a thing that was conjured up the other day, where I essentially have to end everything in nya. You're not muted.
Oh, these are all for free.
You didn't give me any warning. I wanted to give it some clear airway. Oh.
We got it for free.
For free?
Voice crack. I'm
For
so
free.
for those that weren't noticing it, I muted myself for the stream, but I didn't mute myself for the Discord. I did that on purpose, by the way.
Oh man.
Aw, that's so nice. We get
Like-
free. We get
Yeah.
free woos.
All right.
Bro, is it hard in here or is it just me? Just absolutely nothing to add. Stop. Oh my god. Oh, why would you leave that? Why would you leave that alone like that? They got extra ooze. Bro, you good? That's what she said.
You're in timeout, young
And
man.
I'm so glad I'm at least getting like the occasional like
You're-
gasp for air from you.
You're in
Just like-
timeout.
That was
I'm
gonna be nothing.
laughing. Don't put him in timeout.
You're in timeout.
No. Oh no.
Fine. He's back.
Yippee.
Can I?
Oh, it's cold and wet in there.
Where'd you
So
go?
much Dr. Pepper cans.
Need a timeout
Oh,
cage.
cold Dr. Peppers.
It smells like 24 flavors.
What? I understand. All right. So the thing is that what I'm having trouble trying to grasp what it would sound like.
So am I. I've heard it once, but I mean, I'd love to hear it again. All right, Sin?
Yeah.
Could I get a demonstration again for it? That way I can make sure I'm getting it, because I'm not. This is not a bit. This is not a bit. I need to hear it first to understand.
Hello?
My gosh. Okay.
Hello?
All right. Give me a moment.
This is so good.
I'm a furry. What can I say?
I'm a... Oh my god.
You're gonna regret having me here. I'm so cursed.
No, I love every second of this. Dude, let's get it. I'm so ready.
All right, let's go.
All right. I can't believe I got bullied into doing this. I'm fine with the RRR because I've practiced that, but I've never done uwu. Don't you give me that face, stream. Don't you give me that face. Is this gonna kill me?
What? Do it now.
Uwu?
There you go.
That was good. That's better than mine. I can't
I
do
love
it
it.
at all.
Then what's yours? What's yours, Phantom?
Oh my god, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not at
How-
all. It's so bad.
If you do it with your bass voice, like if you can do it with your bass voice, you can do it easy.
Yeah, my
That's
husband
true.
has an exceptionally deep voice.
That's what my
He has a
twin.
very
I've
low
heard
register. He
that.
has to actually like change his diction for his mic to be able to pick him up. That's how low his voice is.
That's so crazy.
So,
Yeah, it's freaking crazy.
just boost it in the lows. That 500 hertz range. That'll get it. He what? He changed his diction. Yeah. See, I was listening. Now, so Phantom, where's your uwu?
Oh my god, I have to
Where's
try
your-
it. God, it's gonna be so bad.
Where's your uwu? Oh, that was better.
Hold on. Let me get a drink of something before I embarrass myself on the VOD in front of Sin, in front of my new friend.
What you hear from me on stream is a lie. I have actively changed my tone and diction to be heard. It, that makes sense.
low voice.
All right. Can't believe we spent.
Uwu?
My God!
Yeah.
The best I got.
Yes.
You gotta hit him with the.
Uwu?
Look at this. I knew this would fucking happen. I knew that he'd get one and then he'd know exactly how to do it, and then I'd be like, oh great. Now I've got the worst one. Now it's known. Now there's evidence that I have the worst one.
But now you have to drop it low where you go, ooh woo.
Ooh.
Boo.
I just heard
no one,
ooh.
That's what I heard.
no
I
one,
just
no one
heard
could ever hate
ooh.
me as much as I hate myself.
Well, no, that was Discord's noise suppression
That
working.
was Discord.
Because
Discord
all-
deprived us.
All we heard was.
All
I
we
hope
heard
somebody
was
clips
you.
that. I hope somebody clips that. Because the
so
only
often to me.
the only thing I heard was ooh. It was it.
Just like
Me too.
Who
That was
started
the
this
best.
poll?
We can decide. We can all agree that was the best one, right?
no, there's no fucking way that was the best.
No, that's the best ooh I've ever heard. Just ooh. That's it.
It was so powerful that literally just went
Discord couldn't
ooh.
handle it. Ooh.
Oh my
Ooh. It's
gosh.
so funny. That was
Audio
great.
Voice suppression on? It's always on. Like I have so much. You have no idea how much shit.
No,
I've
no,
got
so
going
that's
on now.
that's Discord's noise suppression.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Whew, that was funny. It's always interesting in the whole voice process where especially with just sounds like that, where I think phonemes, just these phonemes. Phantom, guess what? You're the winner. Apparently you had the better you had the better ooh.
Deserved.
So done.
Yeah, deserved.
Oh my goodness. But just how you change the pitch of your voice when you do that. All of a sudden your goes from, that high seductiveness to an I can't do it. I don't have a deep enough tone for it like Phantoms does.
Dude, it's so much like because I'm doing the growl, which is why like some
The
people have
vocal fry.
asked
You're
if
doing
I
the vocal
burp.
fry.
Well,
Vocal
I
fry,
believe,
baby.
Vocal fry is higher, isn't it? Is it?
No, vocal fry is
Then
lower.
Vocal fry
No, it's
is
called the
something
growl.
that just happens. Doesn't matter with
So
the pitch.
vocal fry is what happens when your vocal cords at a certain point start to rumble, where it's just the due to the thickness of because when we say vocal cords, all the vocal cords are two flaps of skin in your throat that go back
Yeah.
and forth. That's
So hot.
Oh, I love it when choir teachers say "sing from your diaphragm."
So you know what's funny is all you have to do for that is just tighten your core a little bit and just make sure you breathe from the diaphragm. And like a lot of people, they don't like being told to sing from the diaphragm, but after experimenting a little more recently, and especially with a lot of the VO stuff I've done, if you want to get better VO recordings, that is exactly what you need to do, because a lot of people don't realize when you're not speaking from the diaphragm, especially in your acting, you're leaving a lot of air escaping on those endpoints of your voice. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna say I get it. It's just that every single like vocal coach I've had that wasn't like at my college when I did when I was a jazz vocalist, they were all like, "Oh yeah, you have a problem? Just sing from your diaphragm.
Just sing from your time.
Just sing from your." That was their
That's-
answer for literally everything, and I got so
That's
tired
that's
of
their
hearing
like
it.
You put a
oh my god, that's their essential oils.
You
where
put
they're
a-
just like, oh, you just like you can hit that note. Just use your diaphragm.
You put a band-aid on an amputated limb. That's not how you fix it.
Yeah, like that was literally it. Yeah, and
Um,
yes, I did go to. I went to call. I was sponsored to take. I got a full ride to take jazz vocal that.
So
I
then
don't know
I,
how to speak.
so then I
I
have
took jazz as a vocalist.
vocal fries, karaoke, 2 drinks, and Nickelback on the side. Don't you? I hope that's not disrespect to my band, Nickelback. Nickelback is my pride and joy. I love that band. They're a good band. Pardon me. So you were saying jazz vocalist. What kind of jazz do you like to listen to or sing?
Here we go.
That's a really good thing to have. I like singing a lot. I think like the song that I used to sing for like tuning was "Fly Me to the Moon."
Oh, there you
I think
go.
that was like one of my first ones I ever actually learned to sing. Sometimes I like to sing other things, but I think "Fly Me to the Moon" was like my go-to whenever I had to do light tuning.
Yeah.
I would open every single performance at like a bar with "Love Like You." I
Ooh.
really enjoy that song. Just a jazz rendition of it. It's very, very nice. It was a lot of fun. I could have gotten with literally any other instrument, but I prefer singing.
Oh, that makes sense. I myself am a classically
Yeah.
trained bassist.
Lovely.
So, I learned how to play the upright bass, the double bass, the contrabass, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Initially growing up, probably about at the age of 7 or 8. And from then on, I would double bass or thumpy thumb bass. I thought you were gonna say dumpy bass, and I would have about to lose my mind.
The dumpy bass.
Dumpy
Oh,
bass.
But as I started to learn the bass, I love playing classical music. You know, ranging from Mozart to Dvorak to anything like Samuel Barber and Leonard Bernstein. You know, just classical or contemporary. It's just so much fun to play. But where I really started to enjoy my love for music is when I started to listen and play jazz. And especially the history that comes with jazz is just fascinating. How dare you guys do a D's nuts joke in this chat?
Based on the bass too, give them more respect. I always get so upset when people in the restaurant start talking when the bass is doing a solo. It makes me so sad.
Well, I respect you so much.
People
Even
in the
more.
restaurant, man, you go to some nice restaurants.
Well,
I used to perform at those
Oh,
restaurants.
right. I was like, jeez.
well, one of the long story short, one of the songs I really started to enjoy playing is do you know the jazz trumpeter Chet Baker?
Yeah,
So
Chet Baker.
he's probably most known. There are two songs he's probably most known for. His cover of My Funny Valentine, but the song he I don't think he wrote it, but again he covered, which is But Not For Me, which on his on his trumpet, he's just one of the best cool jazz trumpeters of all time. His music's so good. But the song that I would always love to sing whenever I play his music would be his song called Time After Time, which was originally
Time After Time.
it's specifically his version of the song, because while I love Frank Sinatra's cover for it, Frank Sinatra sings it in his Frank Sinatra way, where Chet Baker, he sings it with such a soft, light tone, where as soon as you hear that opening lyric of just goes, time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. And so he just sings that with such a level of and if you watch videos of him singing that, he sings it with such soul. His eyes are closed, he's bobbing back and forth, just he's getting really into it. And that right there is what I now do anytime I test audio, and especially I test microphones. So it's just a fantastic song.
Oh yeah.
The ooh-woos have upset Mo. Oh.
Yeah, he's covering his face.
Aw. So, but yeah,
Felt the shift.
that's a very good choice. For anybody who's out there who wants to listen to, doesn't listen to jazz, but want to get into a gateway to jazz, Chet Baker is a very, very
Chet
good.
Baker's a good one.
So many good songs, But Not For Me, Time After Time, Let's Get Lost. Let's Get Lost is such a good song, because it's just a song about two people who fall in love and they're like, let's just run away. I don't care what they'll do. We're too busy in love. He's like, let's get lost, let them send out alarms, let's get lost, love in each other's arms. It's just so much fun. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to turn into a singing stream. I just love talking about jazz.
I love jazz. No, I get it. I totally get it. Jazz is a very important part of my life when I was growing up.
So then, with that type of performance that you learned to do throughout your life, what all aspects did you primarily take from your performance days into VTubing?
I would say the ability to be able to be professional while on stage, while being able to handle an issue that is happening.
Oh, well, can you expand on that a little?
Yeah, absolutely. I know that every single combo always has their drama and all that kind of stuff. I remember that the drummer and the bassist were having a really hard time. They were having a lot of fights. And sometimes they're very passionate people. And so very passionate people tend to clash. I would have to sometimes intervene, but it would be very subtle intervening. Sometimes I would play it off on stage, like I was walking around my bandmates and
Pardon
just
me.
singing. And I would give subtle cues like, hey guys, tone it down. We're literally on stage. There's a time and place to do this. I do the same thing when I am on stream. I never really believe in like seeing one person do one wrong thing in chat and then immediately banning them from
Yes.
chat.
Thank you.
I really hate that. I prefer to like, hey buddy, maybe don't do that. There's a time and place for everything. If you want to talk about that kind of stuff or like vent a little, there's my Discord or my DMs, but don't do it here because I am entertaining. This is my job. And if they continue, then I ban. But there's a tact to be able to do it on stream. I've seen many VTubers that kind of see one small thing happen in chat and it's very minuscule, but they blow up and they immediately lose their cool. And immediately everybody starts like leaving the stream because that's not an environment that people that just want to vibe want to be in. So
How often?
it's a skill that I feel like it has to be learned, and it's very important to know how to do as a streamer.
How often would you say this is an occurrence for you?
Surprisingly for me, not all that often, if only for the fact that I am very proud to say that I've cultivated a very, very lovely community. I'm very happy with the community I have. It's very interesting for me to see because I know so many people that lean into like the girlfriend experience or the boyfriend experience, and they're all kind of there for that kind of content. And I'm not judging them. They can really do that, but I'm obviously married, and while some people may think that saying that you're in a relationship is a huge detriment, I don't think so. Proven by my community right now. They're very good. I wouldn't say that's a big community, but they know how to police themselves and they know how to police other people in chat in their own way. And I feel like it's something that I don't think I'll ever be able to take for granted, just how lovely my community is. Because I literally would not be here without them, obviously. I'm literally doing all of this for them. I'm just really happy and proud of my community. They do a good job, and Shame and I did cultivate our community from the get-go. Like right when I started, no like curtains behind streams or anything. Just, hey, I'm married. I'm literally here to provide content. If you like that, then stay. If you don't, then you can free to go. Don't try anything else. And here we are.
You think?
I think that's fantastic. I mean, I can't agree more with the deal with things subtly. I had something the other day for the first time. I had I can't remember. That was, oh, you know what? It was the stream after the VOD last weekend. We were testing out new shoutout commands, and I was trying to get it to blend the built-in shoutout command, which has the follow button come up at the top, and one that plays clips. And Twitch was like, you have to be alive to use the shoutout command. You can't not be live. And so we're like, all right, I'll go live for like 1 minute. It turned into a 12-hour stream. And during that stream, we were playing Scribble.io. And I left the room open because, you know, I'm not even 200 followers. I'm a smaller VTuber. And so I left it open. And at that point, a couple of friends had joined in. It was like 1 a.m. And some people joined in and decided it would be great to start, like, you know, just dropping the N-word in chat and just be like, aha, like, how funny is this? And everyone else who was with me was freaking out. Like, they were like, oh my God. Like one of them was spamming in like the text chat, like trying to get it off the screen. One of them was like, how do we ban them? Where's their usernames? And I'm just like, no, like, what? Like, I'm not even gonna try to get this off screen. I'm just going to acknowledge the fact that they're like, all right, well, like people think they're funny. Like, I'm going to acknowledge this and say, hey, I don't find this funny. I don't want this in my streams. Like, if you're going to apologize, like, that's great. Like, we can move on. I'm not even gonna kick you out of the game. However, like, you are going to say, hey, that wasn't as funny as I thought it was, and we're gonna move on from this. And I didn't make it a big deal. I was like, hey, like, I don't want you guys saying that. You guys know that's not cool. This isn't like an edgy stream. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
And of course they kept going. And I was like, cool, kicked them out of the game. That was it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's because that's
Thank
all
you,
that was needed.
Bombastic.
And everyone's like, oh, so
Yeah, there's
you
no
banned them.
reason
I'm
to like make it a huge thing and like disrupt
Right.
literally the flow of everything to be able to deal with
Exactly.
that. There's a way to do it.
Right, and that shouldn't dissuade someone from having because like you had community day just the other day.
Yeah.
And you were literally having people just like, yeah, jump in the Discord, read the rules, and jump in a general VC. We'll pull you in. I jumped in myself, and it was an awesome time. It was so fun to just be able to be like, hey, Like, I want to check out what Synical's doing today because like I'm gonna see her again tomorrow. I jumped in. It was super friendly. I absolutely adored some of the people that were in there, and
I'm glad.
absolutely gonna try to connect with some of them later. Now that once this is over and I've got some more time, but yeah, it's so much better to have that open floor policy and not be so caught up in like, oh well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Because let's be real, Twitch can be very strict on what they're allowing.
Aw, thank you for the follow, Trenta. Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt.
I was like, what?
I don't mean to interrupt that.
No, it's just like, where's this sentimentalism coming from for Twitch? And I was like, sure, I guess. I mean,
somebody
you really
follows.
want
I need to
them
call
like
it out.
you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Do you mind if I offer my 2 cents on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
It's interesting that you bring that up because it's just making me think of so I used to do improv, and with that I was one of the managers for our improv team where we would perform shows locally. And I remember one show specifically, and this is in person, this is IRL. Because we have several female members on our team, and while we were playing a game, because how we follow the like kind of the whose line is it anyway method, where we're just like, you know, we have an MC for a game. We're like, you know, for instance, I'm like, hey guys, I'm Val and I'm gonna be MCing this game. We're gonna be playing a game called Dictionary, where we're gonna have 2 lines and 2 people are gonna come forward and they're going to get a word and they're going to have to spell that word out one by one and then give a definition one word after the other. So from you guys, I'm going to need a suggestion for a word for these people. And I remember one time when I did that, one of the female team members who walked up got catcalled during a show. And instead of us ignoring it or not doing anything, we're just like, hey, who did that? Which one of you did that? You're gonna apologize. Because if we don't call it out and we don't make them, we don't show, hey, that was ridiculous, you shouldn't do that, it kind of gives them more ammunition to be like, if you ignore it, they're just gonna keep doing it. And I feel like, because that's
I would say that it depends on the situation itself. In that situation, absolutely.
Yes.
But in most cases, they want attention. So in some cases, if you call them out, they're going to do it more because they want the spotlight. They crave it.
They do. And because like coming through and using racial slurs, you know, at that point, it's no need to panic. It's there. You're not the one saying it. It's the individual. You just ban them and they're gone. You know, it's one of those things where after a certain amount of time, you kind of get the knowledge to be like, okay, this happened, this is what I'll do. This happened, oh, you know, we need to have a little conversation about that. But you know, it is definitely a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, for sure. You have to be able to make a judgment on that. You have to make judgment quick as well. If you let it sit, then just like as you said, they're going to think it's okay and they'll continue. Yeah.
Well, and it's so sad to see how much that happens in not just the VTuber community, but just in the streaming community in general. Like, and not only that, just recently with a lot of the trolls that have just been popping up, you know, especially on Twitch. I mean, I know with a lot of the recent changes with the artistic nudity stuff.
I'm not touching that art tag. I'm not touching the art tag. I'm not touching the art game category. Absolutely. Not for a while. The individuals who were drawing normal art that was nothing like that. They're just drawing normal art that they normally do. They got hate rated and reported just to troll. And it's just so sad to see how this happens to normal people just because those trolls want attention. So do you think do you have any advice on for those who are streaming or like who are new to stream or want to stream, how they can sort of develop that skill or just some things they can think about and be on the lookout for on how to deal with things like that? I feel like I will share the advice that my husband gave me because he basically is my manager. He helps me with all these things. He helped me get into the climate that is VTubing itself. I feel like
shout out to your husband.
Yeah, shout out to my husband who is literally the reason why I even started doing this. Thank you,
Aw.
honey. I love you.
Aw.
Anyway, that's pretty homosexual of me.
Yeah.
I would
Homosexual.
say I would say that in dealing with situations like somebody coming in and basically demanding attention, you want to be able to analyze that situation as an okay, do they want a rise or do they want attention? In the case of do they want a rise, actively doing things to antagonize you and try and get you to say their name or something or ban them, do something outlandish, ignore, let go. Just they're out of your mind. If you do this and at least your community, the community that you're cultivating, understands this, they will also ignore them. And then just like a candle that is being put underneath a cup, their light is going to flicker out so quickly and they'll leave. It's very easy. In the case of a person that is coming in to try and gather attention through either like sympathy, like unasked for sympathy. I'm not talking about if somebody comes into your stream and you say, how is your day? And they say, oh, it's a bad day. To prevent that from like turning it into a woe is me kind of thing, you can say, hey, I'm sorry that you're having a bad day. I am streaming though, but if you want to talk to me, my DMs are always open. You can always come to me. That way, if they are really having a bad day, they know that you're kind enough to leave a door open. But if they really want attention, they won't do that and they'll leave. It's such a very quick, easy solution that has like no fire for fire or anything, no gigantic blow up. It's very simple. Hey, this is stream. If you don't want to watch stream, that's fine. If you want to talk about sad stuff, my DMs are open.
Could there
Yep.
theoretically?
And the people that come in for like antagonistic purposes, they'll just leave because they'll find it boring because you're not quote unquote dealing it with them like they want you to.
Of course.
Yeah, I actually did. I did that IRL just the other night. I didn't say anything on stream yet, but I thought I was debating whether or not to share it. But yeah, I went to. It was like 7 at night, and then my wife was like, "I want Roy's," and I was like, "If you think you can keep it down, I'll go get you some." And so I went out, and because the wife is pregnant with twins and is recovering from
congrats.
COVID. Yeah, thanks. So there's a lot going on right now. So I went out. And there was someone who clearly was down on their luck. And they're like, hey, like, you know, like, are you familiar with this hotel? And I was like, oh, I know exactly who this person is because they don't know. I used to walk down the street and I saw them a year ago. I know this panhandler. Like, I was like, oh, I'm not super familiar with the hotel. It's a fact. And they're like, yeah, well, like, I just came from Chicago, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm not worried about me. There's a 1-week-old in the card. And I was like, you don't have a 1-week-old. You have 2 daughters, like apparently, allegedly from last year. Like it was like, you know, that same thing where it's like someone who just wanted, like it's the same thing where it's like they come to stream, they want attention, they come to me, they want money. And it was just one of those things where I was like, yeah, like it's fine. Like I get, if you want to come in and talk about like a stream you just had, personally for me, that's okay. Like I don't mind that much because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that people aren't just going to go to your stream just because they hear that you stream. And I think that's something that a lot of bigger streamers kind of get annoyed with. And that's probably just because people constantly come in. They're like, yeah, I also stream. Or like, oh, you inspired me to stream. And I'm streaming in like an hour. I feel like as a smaller content creator, I can let that go because I'm not going to have that much of it right now. And the people who do come in and say that are probably people I would have loved to have seen stream or be in their stream. But it's the same thing where it's like it applies to real life. Like there are people that are just gonna come up and they're gonna trauma dump or they're going to like try to get pity, and it just doesn't work. And you can, like you said, like you can say, hey, my door is open. Like this is what I've got going on. Like there's a route. I just turned to her and I was like, oh, 1-week-old, that sucks. My wife is pregnant with twins. She has COVID. We have to go to the hospital on Wednesday. We don't know what's going to happen. Oh, you're leaving? Okay, see ya.
Yeah.
Like,
just
all right,
turn
cool.
around on them. And it like honestly works as such a good tactic. It's so good.
And that was my thing is I was like, oh, I wasn't like, I'm sure there are people that will straight up lie about that sort of stuff, but I was being completely honest, super genuine, way too much detail for it to be a lie. And I was like, oh, like if you had stuck around, I probably would have actually like filled your tank. Like if you had actually stayed and showed sympathy for me, like, then it's like, yeah, I would have shown you that same courtesy. The same where if someone comes in to stream, you're like, hey, how is your day going? And they're like, ah, not great. It's like, oh, that sucks. Like, I hope you have a better day. Like, why don't you hang out with us? Positive vibes in here. Maybe it'll turn around. And if it hasn't, like you said, like we've got a Discord. Why don't you go into Discord and like we'll talk to you there, and like we'll like, you know, if there's any advice we can give it. But I mean, we're not like, streamers aren't therapists.
Yeah.
Not go into a stream and expect therapy. Sometimes you will get things that are therapeutic. It's not therapy. It's not the same. Go get help if you need it. Like, correlation, not causation, guys. Just remember that.
Yes.
The amount of times I've seen, because I've been a Game Grumps fan since they started doing things. It's very similar to what you were talking about with Markiplier and PewDiePie, where it's like, yeah, they were the people I went to when I was having a bad day or when I just needed to laugh. And the amount of people that I'd see that were like, yeah, like, you know, like sometimes this is all that gets me through the day. I'm like, I'm so glad you feel that way. I'm so glad that this is like something that works for you, that puts you in a better mood. It is not a substitution for making sure that like you are okay mentally and that you're not just in a cycle. Like that's so dangerous to leave yourself there.
Yes, the VOD, brought to you by therapy.
My therapist used to say that he's like, I hope to one day live in a world where everyone is rich enough to be able to afford therapy.
Oh.
And I was like, that is simultaneously the smartest business tactic and a very wonderful sentiment.
And my best friend is a psychologist. And he one of the jobs he worked at like a few months ago, where it was he was working for a mental health hotline, and his perspective was really because obviously I'm not going to be talking about that kind of personal stuff by any means. His takeaway was just, wow, it's just if everybody could, people need that help mentally in some form or another in capacity, and it's sometimes a little hard to see when people try and treat streamers and content creators as a makeshift therapist, because at the end of the day it's like, we want to make we want to help, we want you to be happy, but there's not much we can do in terms of psychiatric help unless you're a licensed practicing VTuber psychologist. If that is what you do, I mean, that shouldn't be done on stream. It's confidentiality. But like, the point still stands is, it kind of leads me to a question of, are there responsibilities that our audience puts on us that shouldn't be placed? And this kind of ties things together of, coming in, and making sure our chat is, they're okay, they're doing okay, making sure we have to vet and screen and scrutinize every possible person that comes in, that we're having to make sure we're watching and doing every piece of due diligence we need to in our social medias. Do you think that, while there are obviously responsibilities that we as content creators have, a lot of those can be imposed on by our community and our audience?
I feel, at least this is how I carry myself. I don't speak for everybody, obviously, but this is just how I do it. I am a content creator.
Yes.
As a content creator, my main job is to create content and to share it with people. Small tangent. I can't count the number of times I've actually seen a creator that just kind of exists and just spams their throne wish list and or their Ko-fi lists. That's my huge pet peeve. As a content creator, you're supposed to make content and just provide that little smile. I always tell my community, every single time somebody says something nice about the stream, while money is nice, I'm obviously never going to say no to money, because obviously money makes the world go round, unfortunately.
I was just about to say.
And sometimes a little bit can go a long way. But that is not what I'm after. If I can make somebody smile at the end of the day, at the end of a very long day, just a small chuckle, that's all the fulfillment I need. And I feel like a lot of content creators should think of that kind of mindset first, as opposed to fame and or fortune. When dealing with the pressures of what a majority of communities could put onto you, like, you know, as you said, people just coming in to chat and hoping that you can fix their problems. In most cases, I'm not saying that everybody should do this, but for people that like obviously can't handle it, that's okay. But I can. So I always open up my DM because sometimes it's not, they don't need, sometimes, very sometimes, they don't need like licensed professional help. Sometimes they just need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just need
Support network.
somebody to know that, you know, they're being heard. If this one person can just open up their ears to them, everything will be okay. So sometimes I do have some people that like talk to my husband or talk to me. My husband's obviously better at it because he does like psychiatric practice.
Of course.
I always open up my DMs. Sometimes they just vent and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry that's actually happening to you. If they ask for my advice, I'll give them the best advice to my ability, obviously not licensed. And sometimes they just feel better. Sometimes that's just all people really need, just like somebody to listen. You don't even need to give any advice. Sometimes they just need you to know that I'm being heard and I'm okay.
Yeah.
That's just about it.
My gosh, it was just a precursor.
Yeah, that's a man thing. Men cannot hear a problem and not immediately try to fix it. It's a curse we all have.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's
Shameless has a much bigger heart than I am. I'm the cynic. Most people don't believe that because of my exceptionally positive outlook and persona. I am like the cynic. He is a realist, but he's also mostly very positive.
oh, that's wonderful that
There
you're
you go. There he goes again. And if you guys need like, if you guys need somebody to talk to, or you're having a bad day and want some advice, there's my husband. He always has DMs open. He's always happy to help.
Aw.
Everyone hydrate now. Less than 3.
Problem will. Oh, that's problems deserve to be fixed. That's a lovely sentiment. Problems will be fixed is menacing.
Well, you know, it's wonderful that you have that support system. I did hydrate, Nina.
I'm blessed every day.
It's wonderful that you have such a strong support system. It seems both of you do. Who are you? Thank you for coming by, but like I see you and just oh my gosh, I love when people just throw Dr. Pepper at me. Who are you to throw Dr. Pepper at me? Wait, I know who I know that because I set it up. Hee hee hoo hoo. Anyway, oh my gosh, I love all of you guys. But back to that, it's like I said, it's wonderful that you guys have such wonderful support systems, and you know the same goes for anybody in chat because we're kind of talking about this. I feel like I share the same sentiment. You share the same sentiment, Sen. You know, I'm sure Phantom does. That's kind of, if you just need someone to talk to, that's kind of why we're here as creators, just, you know, not to solve your problems, but just to hear it.
We're here to listen.
And I think one of the biggest things that really changed my perspective was when I was younger, right before I was about to go to college. I was talking to my mom. She was talking to me about how, you know, since you're going to really be on your own, you can't shoulder and do everything. You can't fix everything. And sometimes when people come to you, sometimes they don't want you to solve their problems. They just want you to listen. And I feel like that completely changed my outlook on people who come to me and talk to me about anything, is that I don't approach it as, oh, you're telling me that you have a bad day, let me try and fix that, let's see what we can do. Instead, it's using affirming language to be like, oh, you're having a bad day, well, I'm really sorry to hear that, but thank you so much, Panda, for the follow. Man, I'm sorry, that's streamer mode. That's just stream.
It's like a switch in our brain. I get it.
Let me just do that.
I actually disagree with the point. I feel like there's a lot of emphasis on this with obligations and things that, like, you know, like expectations, and like you use the term like oh boy, what is the word specifically, because you used it yesterday as well, obligations and just the idea that like we have a duty to me is something that I feel just inherently is incorrect, because at the end of the day, like what Cynical said, we're content creators. What we're doing is we're creating content. We're creating it in a live environment so that you guys can interact as well. And that's not all. In some cases, you're interacting with each other. In other cases, you're interacting with the streamer. But I don't really, I want to separate this because I feel like my ideals and expectations must be two completely separate things. Because we do, and this sounds harsh, but it is the truth. We don't owe you anything. We don't owe you anything as content creators.
The Vox Akuma. That's the Vox Akuma
right.
philosophy.
Now, the content on the other side of that, we want to give back to you as creators because we appreciate you, because we love you. You guys support us. You guys are here. We're talking to you in a lot of ways. Even though there are so many names that come to that list, I can't imagine how many names go through your chat on a daily basis, being much larger than we are, and that's not to that's not to diminish what we do or our communities, but just it's a comparison that must be observed, in my opinion. Honestly, great.
Probably Discord.
Probably Discord. Yeah, I feel like it's something where you should understand that it takes a lot of effort to talk to chat and to be aware of chat. I mean, we're seeing it right now where we're having a conversation and in the middle there's a follow, and it's like immediately that switch flips. It's like, yes, thank you for the follow. Like, I appreciate it, because while we don't really owe, while I personally believe we don't owe anything to anyone, because this is something that we're doing. We're taking our time out. I mean, especially for me and Val, where it's like we're not. I would be surprised if I made more than like $100 a month streaming, and that alone is a gift. That is usually from other streamer friends that are just like, hey, if you meow or if you bark like a dog, I'll give you two I'll give you two schmeckles, or like, someone's giving bits to interrupt your stream in like a really funny way. Like this is a work of passion, and it's something where it's something that we're passionate about. We want to do. Sin, you were saying that you do this full time, but you couldn't do it without the support of your husband.
Well, I don't think I can. Honestly, I couldn't like bring myself to actually do this. In the environment that I was in before I met my husband, I never thought that I would actually be doing VTubing as a whole.
Yeah.
Because in my family, they were just like, don't do that. That's literally not a real job. And I was like, okay, if whatever you say makes you happy, I really don't want to fight. And I kind of just went along with it.
Yeah, it's a
shame. Kind of helped me break me out of my shell.
And I want to clarify is my thoughts on that. That's not how I react when I stream. That's just when I'm in person with like my friends. So pardon me. I probably should have clarified that is that is how I interact with people I know. Of when people come to me and they talk about things like, hey, like I said, I've had a bad day, and instead of me going, oh well, why are you feeling this way? Oh well, maybe this and this. I've changed my attitude of, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, but thank you for talking to me about it and being open about it with me. You want to talk about that a little more. And so that is me IRL. That's not really me. I want that obligation, that sense. I want to clarify.
It's more of, it detracts from the amount of effort we put in to give back, and that's not something that's necessary. You can stream and not pay attention to chat or not be active. I've gone into plenty of people's streams.
Oh yeah.
Where I've been looking for people that I want to collab with, or people that I have collabed with. I've had someone that I DM'd with when I first started looking around, and it sounded very positive. I was really excited to work with them. I jumped in their stream the other day, absolute dead silence. Like when I was trying to like be like, hey, like, how's it going? Like we haven't talked in a really long time. Like I'd really love to try and do something together. Like I want to kind of like try to interact with the community, just like radio silence. And then I jump in streams and I'm like, hey, like, how's it going? Like what are we playing right now? What's going on? Trying to interact with chat, and it's like I'm not even like nothing. Absolutely nothing out of this other than, oh hey, thanks for the follow, and it's like didn't even recognize the fact that it's like not big enough to not recognize like the fact that we have had an extensive conversation on like, hey, like I want to get into the VTubing scene. This is what I want to do. This is what I plan. Oh, that sounds great. Like we should do this together. Yeah, I'd love to do this. And then just like, it's so clear now that it was like that was just lip service. There was nothing behind it. And
Yeah,
it's just like,
it's very unfortunate.
it is, yeah. And I've been so fortunate where that is the only case of someone I've actually talked to beforehand that's had that. Everyone else has been absolutely fantastic and lovely. And I feel like it's not that I want to create a barrier or I want to like make sure I can like get a clause for myself where it's like, yeah, if I don't feel like responding, I don't have to. No, because I do the same thing where I'll respond to every chat I can, even if I'm not saying anything about it. I've read it and I probably either giggled about it or I've at least tried to internalize like, okay, this person is feeling this way. This is what's happening in chat. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to add, so I'm going to keep going. And maybe something else will come up earlier, or we can circle back to this.
Yeah.
I just don't want to detract from how hard people work to interact with chat and make things where chat can do things that feel like they matter. One of the big things I always talk about is making the subs feel worth it. Because, I mean, you know, it's not a ton of money, but if you're following 5 different streamers and you're subbing to all of them, that's $25 a month. That's substantial. That's like an electric bill, depending on where you are. And for me, it's very important that you're getting something out of this too. Even if it's just entertainment, you are getting something live. There's a reason to come in and stop by the stream rather than just watching a YouTube video. There's a reason to be here and be present.
Yeah. My husband was talking to me about this too. He was like, I remember at the very beginning of my streaming career, it was so difficult for me to keep up with chat.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget because I'm so engrossed in the game that I'm playing. And my husband would like, he talked to me about it, and he was like, there's such a unique demographic about live streaming because people can interact and they want to be able to interact. And otherwise, like, they would just go watch a YouTube video.
Exactly.
And that clicked for me in my head, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally get it. And now I train myself to flicker my eyes between the chat overlay and then my game.
Yeah. You train that ADHD good.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a resource. Utilize it.
Looks like we have a question in the chat, and I think we'll end this little section on this because there was one more little section of questions that I wanted to ask before the show. Oh well, look at that! Your wonderful husband already beat us to it.
There you go. I would have said that too.
Dang.
As I said earlier, just tell them to DM.
Well then, instead of answering that, because it's our wonderful shameless answer that, my artist Apophis Nova already made a shirt based on the quote you said.
Let's see it.
Wait, let me see it.
I set my Discord status as ooh. Please don't, Gyro.
So for those that are
oh my god.
For those that are not,
I love this.
For those that are not a part of the Discord, pardon me, please join the Discord. Have fun there. That's the link right there. You can interact. You can have fun with all of us, all the previous guests and whatnot. But you can see all the fun artwork and all the stuff that we do here. I highly encourage you guys to join it. There's so much fun. Not to mention, let me get that image on the screen right now.
That is.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You need.
So when is that merch coming?
I was gonna say, I kind of think that if Apophis is okay with it, I think that's a shirt you should sell, that you should make.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to find some place to like actually make this a thing.
Like they can be kind of expensive. I actually did something similar for another streamer that I met over the brief time that
oh my gosh, it's so big
going through my journey, and I made this number right here, and
this right
that was the other one.
This right here is the shirt, people.
Oh, look at that shirt. It's so good.
There's so many good things, but there are yeah, I went through and made, I can't find the one I made, but like I think it usually comes out to about 35 a shirt before shipping is like probably the cheapest I've seen in the research I've done, which is like, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how you make merch lines. Like the fact that you have a candle blows me away.
I partner with Candle to make candle. You should reach out and make a candle for the VOD.
Oh, all right.
What would it smell like? Dr. Pepper?
Ask them if they can make a Dr. Pepper smell.
All right. You need to put that. In the stream.
I am gonna link it to you.
Please
they're,
do.
They're very nice people. They're very nice people. They were very accommodating for me. I'm sure they'll be the same for you.
Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
And I shit you not.
yeah.
1, 2, 3 down is a Dr. Pepper candle.
Scent of a bottom. Oh, is that going to be the name of the candle?
Bottom.
Oh
God.
Well,
Oh,
goodness,
no.
you have done direct integrations. Oh, okay, interesting. Looks like I would love to see. I'm a big person with. I love hats. I love hats, and I think that'd be super fun to get like a Val hat, but like a shirt or something like that. That would be super fun in the future, is to get a merch line. But the one I'm thinking about doing right now that I thought would be fun is just to reach out to GamerSups and be like, GamerSups, when am I gonna get my femboy bottom cup? Come on, let's do the partnership. I will give you the attention that you deserve.
There it is.
Why are there so many? There's so many shirts. Oh, those are cool shirts. Dang.
That's the one I designed. Because it's the most embarrassing one I could think of.
Yes, Russian Badger and his guacamole gamer fart 9000.
Oh, I love Russian Badger so much.
My man, I was watching his Lethal Company streams like last week. So good.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
I bet.
One of these days, I just want to do a collab and just play Lethal Company with somebody on stream. I've been wanting to play Lethal Company with people, but like nobody wants to.
You should be asking me. I've been playing Lethal Company like every single day.
Then let's Lethal Company this week.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Oh God.
When?
What day?
When? What day? What time?
What day?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Either one of those days works.
Okay.
We could talk about that a little bit after.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll put a pin on it.
So, the last series of questions, question I want to talk about, and that's why I saved it for last, is so for those that follow Synical on Twitter, and I'm bringing this up not because of the content of it, but because of the interesting topic that surrounds it. Is on Twitter, you recently made a challenge that was based on the Cult of the Lamb tweet that said if they got over 400,000 followers by the end of the year, they would release a sex mod or sex DLC for Cult of the Lamb. Now you quote retweeted that saying, if I reach, because you recently found out your model, which of course we're not showing here because Twitch,
But yeah.
before anybody asks me, if you want that, guess what? Follow Synical on Twitter. I had to plug your Twitter on that. The thing is that she found out that her model came with a nude base.
Yes.
And so because of this, she's like, if I reach 20,000 followers before the end of the year, I will release the sex DLC for my model. Passed it in like a week.
So unhinged.
Yeah.
Show the model you card? No. Bad Jathan.
No. We've passed that age on Twitch. You can go to my alt.
So with that, you showed it. And
Yeah.
you passed that in a week. You got about, I want to say you got what? Was it 3,000 or 5,000 followers on Twitter?
I don't remember. I remember I was at 19 point something.
Oh, that's what it was, 19.
And then I made a joke because I saw that everybody else was doing it, and I was like, haha, I'll release my sex DLC, and then everyone surpassed it. And I was like, oh well,
So
guess I'm doing it now.
the reason why I bring that up is not because of the content of it, but because that was such a genius marketing strategy, because at the end of the day, this is VTubing, this is a content creation, it's a business.
Oh yeah.
So that was a genius move, marketing wise, on your part. What made you decide to do that? And when you did that, did you go in with the expectation of, I will probably get a little more support on this, because, you know, having something like this is, people want to see it. I mean, I can't imagine how many bookmarks there are. I'm saying that because it's the VTubing community. And there's just any I'm digging myself a deeper hole. The bottom line is, what were your expectations as you were setting this up? And were they was the result what you thought would happen?
I will say this. The first thing I want to preface here is that it is very important as a VTuber that you remain active, especially active on your largest platform possible. For me, it's Twitter, because that's the place where I update my community. So if I see a trend on Twitter, I don't follow it to a T. I turn it into my own thing. I make it a spin on it. Like, for example, a trend that happened a little earlier on. Remember how there was a meme template where it's your model and what inspired parts of your model, right?
Yes.
I turned it into you and what inspires you. And instead of putting pictures of people that I referenced for my model, because I don't have any, I instead wrote an entire 4-paragraph long message to my community thanking them for being my community and for making me into what I am that day. That received a lot of traction. My recommendation is, for marketing, take something that you see that everybody's doing, go do the same thing but against the trend. Turn a little twist on it. For the Cult of the Lamb one, I saw that they were dropping a sex DLC. I saw everybody else going, oh, when I reach X followers, I will do X. Not exactly the sex DLC. So what I did was I literally copied exactly what Cult of the Lamb said, almost word for word, except the number is 20K. I put it on there, I showed a teaser, and every single time when I think of these kinds of challenges, I always have to have a result. I know a lot of people messaged me and commented on that post, the reveal, saying, oh, I would have totally juked it out. But for me, they worked hard, quote unquote, worked hard to reach me to that point. That's my way of giving back. Always have a full line, send through. Unless it's something that you don't normally do, like doing an OnlyFans stream. I do know in the future I want to have a goal for my a donathon in the future, saying, oh yeah, when I reach this goal, I'll do an OnlyFans stream, but it's just my model playing Mario Kart with the community on OnlyFans. Just do a twist on it. Get creative. You're a creator after all.
No, that's really excellent advice. I mean, especially navigating the social media landscape that is Twitter, which is predominantly what a lot of VTubers use. It's really hard to set yourself apart, and unless you do certain things. Because what helped me gain a little traction was not I'm releasing sex DLCs, or I don't have the most attractive model. It's
wait, is that not coming out? Were we not announcing that today, Val?
That was between you and us, and you know it.
Oh, okay. That was you just sent me that.
It's a private
file.
DLC. It's the beta.
It's a beta.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, that's the that's the Kickstarter.
I'm an alpha.
Kickstarter.
But what I did was I networked a lot, and I made up for it because, people have, and this is what my mod told me when I was first starting, is just that, especially when it came to the design of the show, is that people have models that they want to show off, and that's why a lot of people follow. They get their attention grabbed by the model, and they stay for the personality.
Yeah.
Or they maybe just man chest or booba, and maybe that's why they stay. So whatever reason, it's that foot in the door of what you do, whether it is an attractive appearance or your work ethic.
Yeah, just an attention grabber. You need to get their attention.
Exactly. If you want to see man chest, go over to my boy Phantom's streams and donate some bits or whatnot, and you can see plenty of man chest.
It comes back around, baby.
This is why I don't have my model on here. This is why I elected to go with Gojo instead. You can't ogle me here. I'm safe here.
Well,
Look at me.
Well, as much as I would love to continue this conversation, we are hitting our 5-minute mark. I was wondering, do you think we could see small cynical before we head out?
Oh my goodness, we completely glossed over that, huh? Because we were talking so much. I
We
was
knew it was
enjoying
gonna
myself so
happen.
much, I completely forgot which one is it. Oh boy, I have so many models here. Let
How many
me.
versions of your model do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh,
Right now, there's a 7th coming.
Oh,
There's a 7th coming. I think it's this one. If it's not, I'll be very sad.
Nope.
Yay!
well, guys,
Why are you shocked?
I'm
There
not.
it is.
I'm not shocked. I've seen
You
it before.
shouldn't. Good.
Oh, hold on. I gotta allow this.
yeah. Yeah, I heard it too.
Oh, is it green screen? That's funny. It has the
Oh, wonderful! It's a little too green.
so it just
Oh my God.
shows you in the milky froth.
It jiggles.
This is terrible.
Am I gonna see people calling me the Jar VTuber in chat right now? I swear, if it's just my community members, I know you're just messing around with me.
Yeah, I don't.
Never gonna
I
get over it.
think
I'm never gonna
you're
get over
safe
it.
here. I think you're safe. You will probably never escape it.
I'm never gonna escape it.
No, probably never. However,
Madam Jar.
I mean, the worst thing, there's something worse than being a Jar VTuber, and that's being the VTuber that's always
Oh
getting
my
hit
gosh.
Hands, don't you think?
You're just spamming your
Here, I'll
mouse.
free myself so that I can be
Yeah.
a little bit bigger.
Jeez,
Oh yeah, baby! Let's go!
I can't hear you.
Do you remember to poke holes in the lid? That's not gonna help with the pickling, my guy.
It's not gonna help with the pickling.
It also
so curt.
it also occurred to me that the audio for my Twitch throwing system I don't think was working. So I'm needlessly shouting into my mic, but because I can't hear you guys.
It's pretty great. It's really great. I mean, I'm used to it at this point. And Sin is, she screams during
Oh,
her streams,
yeah.
so I think it's fun. Yeah, that was shocking yesterday.
Oh, you
That
you
was
shouldn't be
an
shocked.
experience. Well, it was the clipping. That was
Leave
just
my
getting me.
my plump juicy nips alone.
Yeah,
What?
keep them out of your mouth.
Phantom doesn't want me talking about his bare smooth chest.
Ugh,
Waxed.
Pardon me.
waxed.
He doesn't like me talking about the smooth waxed chest there. Oh boy. Oh, sorry. I had to
Fine.
turn on the Southern charm. Well, this has been so much fun. Like we had so many high and low energy points throughout this, from yes, jazz and music to booba, and then going to something as tackling the seriousness and the help of how do you manage being a streamer, and the things that comes into your chat and how you deal with it. I feel like this has been a very successful episode of the VOD. All I can say is thank you so much for being our wonderful guest here and bringing your jar from home with us, or with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for letting me have my jar.
Well,
I
just
love my jar. It's my home.
please don't leave the jar here.
Yeah, don't worry.
it
Don't
with
worry.
you.
Yeah. I'll take it out. I'll take it out with me. Don't worry. It's okay.
sure to take
I
it
need it
in
for
all of its
pickling anyway.
contents.
Need it for pickling. Oh my gosh. Well, the last question, and I think the second most important, Phantom, would you ask this question?
Yeah, Sin, who should we raid out to?
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go check. Let's see who we should raid.
Pull it up.
All right. Let me pull up my list. Let's see. Oh no. Where are my friends?
Well, while you were
Oh,
searching
no.
that, I will do my little outro stuff. So, thank you guys so much for being here for this episode of the VOD. Again, the VOD is not possible without, one, my wonderful audience, but two, my wonderful co-host, and 0, because I think that's the most important thing, is my guest. 0's above 1. I want to say that. Sorry, Phantom, you're number 2 on this 0, 1,
That's
2.
all right.
Darn.
I'll survive somehow.
But I couldn't do it without any, all of you guys here. Like, I honestly, I can't. So thank you guys so much for being here and doing this. Again, I have a Discord for this show, and unlike a lot of people who have it specifically for their VTubers selves, this one is dedicated to the show, the VOD, primarily. Yes, I get announcements and post stuff for my streams, but this is primarily for the VOD, where you can talk with guests, set up collabs, and do all this stuff. And so I encourage you guys to join. It's super fun, it's super cool. And after stream today, I think I will be sitting in the general voice chat for probably about 15 minutes. So if anybody wants to come by and talk and have fun, I'm gonna start doing that after every episode of the VOD. That way I can start to talk with my audience a little more, and talk with chat a little more. I think that'd be so much fun. Not only that, I have a Twitter. It's _Valentine0. That's that in the top right corner. Please go support my wonderful co-host here. He is shirtless as we speak. So,
Right now.
Right now,
always.
come support my wonderful co-host. He's a couple off from 200 followers. Let's get him there. And lastly, what impeccable timing. And lastly, please show some wonderful support to our wonderful guest here. Again, this show would not be possible without our guest, because it would just be 2 dudes talking and nothing more. A jar of sitting.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Yeah, no problem. And this goes for you and anybody else in chat. If you know of anybody who's a VTuber who wants to be on the show, please join the Discord or reach out to me and we will have them on the show. We'd love to have them. There are no requirements. I don't care if you have 0 followers or if you have 1 million followers. Please reach out and we'd love to have you on the show. So without further ado, do you have someone we can raid into?
Yes, I put them into the voice chat over here.
Let's go.
I don't know them personally, but I love sharing the love to people who probably don't expect it all the time.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. They're playing Lethal Company, my favorite game right now.
Yeah.
The game I am personally addicted to right now.
Oh no.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
So why don't we get that raid started? And actually, before I do that raid, I need to get the raid chat going. I just hit clip button instead of my raid. Wonderful. That was clipped for no reason.
Flip it. Hell yeah.
Hold on, I gotta do this.
+2.
Welcome to the stream, guys, where I clearly know how to type things and do things. Where is my notepad? My gosh, I was prepared. I swear.
Kills me.
The what?
Oh, a classic VTuber moment.
The scuff at end of stream.
Yes, the scuff.
Classic.
So if you're what is it for? That's for subs, and I need one for people who are just following, because I didn't know that was a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Use follower emotes if you are not subbed outside of the stream. That is something I totally did not know either.
Well, guess what? Now we have one.
Hey, yo.
I like to do. There we go. There we go.
That's a good one. That's a great choice.
Wunderbar. Alrighty then. Well, let's raid into them.
Oh yeah.
There is that.
Oi.
I just canceled that raid because I don't know how this thing works.
Oh yeah.
I love you so much.
All right, I'm not gonna click out of that.
Yeah, let's get it.
So,
Let's go.
Anywho, my name is Val. This is the Phantom Fame. This has been our wonderful, wonderful guest, Synical. Follow all of us on our associated socials. And if you want, reach out to us in the Discord or on Twitter or wherever we are. We'd love to talk with you. We'd love to see you. And I will see you guys, if you want to, in the general voice chat. I love you all. And I will see you on Tuesday for having JG Joestar as our next guest on the VOD. Thank you so much and have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, woo.
Ooh.
Ooh woo.
Woo.